Excellent. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for making time to meet today with myself and Heidi. We're going to get rolling. My name is Mark from the I Do Society, and I just want to quickly introduce myself before we dive in and get to know Heidi. But the I Do Society, we're the wedding industry's authority on advertising, and our whole goal with the I Do Society is to create great ads that convert the most couples, and make sure that everyone in the wedding industry who's spending money on advertising is getting as much from their ads as they possibly can. Real quick before we dive into our discussion with Heidi, we actually have a new referral offer that we're doing now, and we are paying $500 for anyone who refers a new member to us after that business completes 2 months with us. So $500 offer for sending someone our way to help with their ads, and we love, love, love helping every wedding business of every type with their advertising. So feel free to send us your referrals and get paid $500. So the reason why we have these events, even though our focus is on advertising completely, and that's our sole focus to be as good as we can at advertising, is because advertising doesn't live in a silo. There's so many other variables and things at play that help advertising campaigns convert ideal couples into warm leads. And so these events allow us to bring in experts like Heidi, who are really, really good at what they do, not something that we don't do, but they're good at that particular thing to help ad campaigns do better. And Heidi is an incredible marketer. She recently had an online learning summit where she had more than 3,000 people attend the summit. It's a huge success, and she's done it for a really long time. So she's an incredible marketer. I'm super excited to have her with us today. And Heidi, I'm actually going to let you introduce yourself because usually it's so much better when you tell people what you do instead of having someone else like me screw it up. So please introduce yourself. I'd love to hear it.
My absolute pleasure, and thank you for having me here. I'm really excited to dig in. I'm going to teach you some things, and then we're going to do some things together. So I want you to walk away from this having what I'll get into in a minute. So the whole point here is to make couples say, "Oh my God, we need to book you in 5 seconds or less." And like Mark said, my name is Heidi Thompson. My business is called Evolve Your Wedding Business. And for the past 13 years now, I've been working with all sorts of different types of wedding professionals to help them attract more of the clients they love, book them, make their marketing easier, and build a business that gives them some freedom and flexibility as well. And today we're talking about this because this is so important when it comes to anybody coming to your website, especially if you're paying for that person to come to your website. So this is going to help you improve your conversions.
Amazing.
So first off, we need to identify who that person is. Who are the clients that you've served that you wish you could clone? And I want you to take a minute and make a list of these people. Write their names down. This is going to be really important because we want to base this all on real people, not imagined ideas of what may or may not actually exist in real life. So go ahead, scribble down a few names, type out a few names. I'm sure a few people come to mind where you're like, yeah, if I could work with that person all the time, I would be the happiest person on earth. Let's make every client just like that. And then I want you to think about how you would describe them to a friend. And the reason why I ask you this is because this gets us out of like the weird ideal client language. Like if you, I, and this person were meeting up for coffee, what would you tell me about this person? You wouldn't tell me they're between 25 and 35 and they make this amount of money and they're in this profession. How would you actually describe them as a human being? What is their personality like? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? I really want you to think about this because when we try to market to avatars or when we try to market to these like straw men, it doesn't work because we're not actually tapping into the psychology of the person who we really want to reach. So I want you to think about how would you actually describe them? You and a friend are going out to drinks with this person. What would you say about them? And I want you to think about what these people have in common because how you describe each of them is going to be different. But what are the common factors? Not as demographics, but as actual, fully fleshed out, real human beings who are like, the lead character in their own lives. And then I want you to make a list of the clients you want to avoid. Because in order to know what we want, we have to know what we don't want as well. So if there are people you have worked with that you're like, never again, no, absolutely not, make a list of these people. How would you describe them to a friend? Not just in the way that like they're super annoying and you don't want to have to work with them, but what kind of a person are they? What do they care about? What were they fixated on? And what do these people have in common? So we're looking at these two groups, the clients you want to work more with, the clients you want to avoid. Who are they specifically, like their individual names? How would you describe them to a friend, not in demographics? And what do they have in common? I would love to hear from you a little bit of a description of who you want to book more of. Who is that person? What is it that you love about them? What are they like? What are they actually like as a human being? So let me know in the chat. This is really, really important to describe them as a person and not a demographic.
Yeah, drop comments into the chat.
Yeah.
I know my
And
particular business isn't the audience for this conversation, but I can think of so after being a business for so long, I can think of so many examples of who I don't want to work with, right?
right, and that's helpful because
Mm,
sometimes we don't really know who we want to work more with, but we know who we definitely don't
yeah.
want to work more with. Someone who carries on a conversation easily. That's an interesting, um, I want to say feature, but like personality trait. Yeah.
Hmm.
What else? Who are they as actual people? What are the things that they came to you really caring about, really excited about, or things that
Mm,
they were like, oh no, we will not be doing that?
mm. Is it like could it even be broken down to like are they dog people or cat people?
Sure.
And I know I use that example like probably too much in my own communication, but like I think sometimes like dog people, for example, like dog people are dog people. Like they love animals, and like that can be a really important quality about people you want to connect with.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Family oriented, someone who wants to
Hmm.
try new things. Okay, that's a very different person than certain types of people. That's really good to know. Positive energy, want something special for their wedding. Sense of humor and love of music. They have warm personalities. They're honest and clear on what they want. They've done their homework on who they want to work with. They're outgoing and open-minded and accepting of our experience. This is all good. So try to, as you're thinking about this, think about them detached. Like it is helpful to know, like, okay, they're open-minded and accepting of our experience. That is wonderful to know. That's going to help you. But try to think of them detached from your business. Like if you met them in let's say we're in the same profession, you met them at a networking event, or if your sibling started dating them, who are they actually as people? And I think once you start thinking about it in this way, you're going to find more personality traits and preferences that you can really speak to. And I'm going to give you some help on how to do that. So now that you have this person in mind who you really want to target, you really want to make sure that they can tell within 5 seconds or less that you are the absolute perfect fit for them. This is where this conversion piece really comes in to make sure that the traffic coming to your website is actually going to convert for you. Your website needs to be so clear, like way clearer than most of us actually think. And I want you to think for a second, is it immediately clear upon landing on your website, ideally without having to scroll, what you do, who you do it for? Can they tell in 5 seconds, I'm a hell yes, I'm a hell no. You're in the right place, you're in the wrong place. Most people, it is not immediately clear. And we're going to fix that today. It needs to be clear who you're also not for. I mean, you don't have to come out and say it like none of these people, but by stating who you are for, it kind of pushes out the people who you're not for. So I wouldn't come out and say, we don't do Jewish or Muslim weddings, even if that's the case, because the language you're going to want to go for is calling in the right people and showing the people who are maybe not a right fit for you that it's not a hell yes, so it's a hell no. So you would focus on the people that you do work with. Oh, right. Okay. And with your website, you need to answer this in 5 seconds or less. I've actually seen some data that says it's 3 seconds. That is the amount of time you have before someone makes the decision to either continue through your website or to leave, to hit the back button. So we need to make sure that immediately they're like, oh, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm going to show you some examples here of different types of businesses. These are all wedding pros that I have worked with. This is Mercy Ibarra. She is a reverend and officiant. We see here weddings, baby blessings, life celebrations, and more. So we know what it is that she does. This next line tells us who she does it for. Creating and officiating custom ceremonies that honor your sense of spirituality while still respecting your family's traditions. Mercy is first generation Cuban American. She specializes, not only, but she specializes in working with other first generation couples who maybe they're not super religious, but their parents are, their grandparents are. They want to incorporate that, they want to weave it in. They also want a bilingual ceremony. They want someone who can speak English and Spanish. So you can see right here, she says, this is the thing, this is the problem that she solves. If this is the problem that you are looking to have solved, you stop searching at this point because they have made it abundantly clear, hey, if this is you, I'm your person. This is Christy Hunter, Seattle wedding photographer. And she says right here, for couples who want bright, colorful photos that feel natural. So who she's for, what she does. She goes on further down here to say, wedding photography is about capturing the joyful, romantic, and important moments of your big day in a way that beautifully reflects who you are as a couple. So all of these, they're reflecting who their person is back to them and saying, you want bright, colorful photos that feel natural? I'm your person. On the other side, we have Liz, who is a photographer, and what she's selling here is very different than what Christy is selling. She's saying here, your wedding day is a story worth telling on paper. Wedding photography for the timeless traditional bride. Those are two different people who are going to have two different responses from landing on one or the other of these websites. This is exactly the kind of, oh my God, this is for me, or okay, it's probably not for me reaction you want to elicit. The danger comes in the maybe. The danger comes in the gray zone because then you just become yet another open tab that does not stand out from everybody else. This is from a planner's website, K Northrop. We aren't your average wedding planner. We plan untraditional and out-of-the-box weddings. Challenge tradition, embrace your uniqueness, have zero regrets. Very, very clear. She doesn't come out and say, I only work with this person, I don't work with this person, but it makes it very clear. If you're into this sort of thing, we should work together. Have a dress designer here. This is Renegade. This is from their True Colors, their dyeable dresses. So we have an image that either you're gonna be into or not, both in terms of the same-sex couple, a black dress, a ombre dress. It's either your thing or it's not. Gowns optimized for dyeing. We see immediately what it is and what it's all about. Guaranteed vivid color on styles you'll love. If you do not want a colorful dress, you should not buy from this company. But it tells you up front. So it's either a, oh my God, I need to work with you, or a, oh, not for me. This is Magical Vows. She is a planner in Italy. First of all, we have a qualification, a call out to her people in the image. This is immediately a different vibe of wedding. And she says here, wedding planners and emotion designers for unconventional weddings. If you do not want an unconventional wedding, probably not the right planner for you. This is from my own website. Book more weddings with couples you love without working all the damn time. If that's something you want, this is going to be something you read more into. If it's not, if you don't work with couples, if you're not in the wedding business, if you don't have an issue with bookings, this isn't going to be for you. The idea is you want to create a hell yes or a hell no in 5 seconds or less. And this is really important because copy, the words we use to try to convert people, and our marketing that follows this strategy really sets you apart. It makes you a hell yes in a sea of open tabs, in a sea of, I guess this could maybe work kinds of options, which I'm seeing a lot of. And what's really cool about this is you effectively create your own category. You're no longer a venue, a planner, a photographer, an officiant. You are creating your own category. So you're not competing with the other planners or the other venues, because that's not, your people aren't looking for a venue. Your people are looking for a venue that is the right fit for them. And this is really cool because it squashes so many price objections, because you're not selling the same thing that everybody else is. You're selling something different. So it allows you to stand out. It allows you to charge more than you might think you can. And people will be willing to pay more to get the thing that they want, that exact perfect fit thing that they want. I'm sure you've had experiences like this where you come across a service provider or a product or a shop of some kind, and it's like, I maybe could find this cheaper elsewhere, but I don't want to. I want to work with this person. I want to buy this item. I want this brand. So I want you to reflect on your ideal client. What do they care about most? And I'm going to give you the way to actually find this out so you don't have to guess. But we're going to start from a bit of an estimate. What do they care about? What is most important to them about their wedding, about their ceremony, about their decor, about their dress? And what do you want to be known for? Because these things have to line up. If your clients that you're currently work with, they really care about something that you don't want to serve, you don't want to be known for. Like if that dress designer was getting a bunch of people that really wanted traditional lacy dresses, but that's not what she wanted to be known for. She wanted to be known for colorful dresses. That's a disconnect. So we want to make sure that what they care about lines up with what you actually want to be known for. And this is where your perfect fit statement comes in. That statement on your website that in 5 seconds or less clearly shows I'm either the perfect fit for you or I'm not. So I'm going to give you a couple of frameworks for this. You're not limited to this, but this gives you an idea of how you could state it. What you do for couples who want what it is that they want. Or we could do something more identity based. What you do for couples who they are. First generation Hispanic couples who are more spiritual than they are religious. Thing that they want, that desired result without thing that they don't want. So go ahead, take a screenshot of this if you'd like. We're going to talk through some of these, but these are a few ways of structuring your perfect fit statement. Again, you're not beholden to them, but it should give you a good jumping off point. Now, where do we put this? This statement goes front and center above the fold on your website. That means before they have to scroll to see it. You want to make sure the second your website loads, they see this. It also can be worked into your social media bios, and it really helps you filter all of your marketing through this statement. By posting this thing on Instagram, am I speaking to this particular person? Am I making myself known for this particular thing I want to be known for? It really helps serve you as a filter. So let's work on your perfect fit statement. And then I want to make it more irresistible. So I would love to see from you in the chat what immediately comes to mind. And I'm going to bring those frameworks back and we can workshop this a bit. So what you do for couples who want what they want, what you do for couples who they are, thing they want without thing they don't want.
This is brilliant, Heidi. I'm literally like, my mind is reeling with ideas, and it's oh so easy to get off track when we are the business owners who
Yes,
are
you're too
in it
close.
every single day, and we want to tell 1,000 different things about our businesses. It's amazing to frame it like this.
Yeah, it really helps filter everything through this very simple statement of this is who we are, this is what we do, this is the problem we solve, this is the thing we provide you with for people who are like you, and just a real quick descriptor. And what this does is it really helps you stand out from your competition, because I have reviewed endless numbers of websites in the wedding industry. And so many of them, I would say like 95% of them are super vague. They use a lot of fluff. They use a lot of language that doesn't mean anything to the couple, that doesn't tell them, hey, this is what you want. This is what you're going to get here. It's a lot of flowery language that, and my test is always, can I copy and paste this onto your competitor's website and would anybody notice?
Mm.
Because if I can, then we have a problem.
If I see one more website that says "Have the wedding of your dreams" or some version of
Right.
that as a
And it's
title,
like,
I'm
well,
gonna
I
like
have
shoot myself.
72 tabs open that also say that. So how am I
Yeah.
going to make my decision? It's kind of forcing them into making the decision based on price.
Yeah.
Our mission is to redefine the luxury bridal shopping experience, celebrate the diversity of our clients, ensuring a unique, fun, and personalized journey for each bride to find her perfect dress with absolute confidence. Okay, I would shorten it and put it more into conversational language that they would use and they would recognize. So it might be I don't want to say luxury bridal shopping, because that's not what they want. That's the mechanism through what they get. Your luxury wedding dress without this particular thing, or luxury wedding dresses for couples, for um people who want a unique, fun, personalized experience. But we have to be careful here, because the thing we come up with is probably not the thing they want. It's the thing we think we do. So, is anyone waking up and they're like, gee whiz, I wish I could have a personalized experience? No, how do they actually describe it? Inclusive bridal boutique offering sizes 0 through 40 in stock. So no matter whether our brides have 2 years or 2 weeks, we have a gown for you. I like that. Hands-on formal wear styling for couples who care about fit, service, and details, not just hitting add to cart. I like that. I think you can refine it. And these are all rough drafts. These are all great to start with for sure. I think you can refine and thinking about how would they say what they care about? Would they say they care about fit, service, and details, or would they phrase it differently? And I'm going to give you a resource that you can get their exact verbiage from them, but you want it to fit the language that they would use. So they're essentially looking into a mirror when they land on your website. They see themselves in that. And that's in terms of imagery, that's in terms of website copy, but we want to make sure they see themselves. And I know that's hard because we're in it and we want to say it in this businessy kind of way. But I want you to think about how they would describe it. And then, like I said, I'm going to give you a way to get that information.
Heidi, can I ask a question?
Of course.
When when we're writing these statements that include like fit, service, and details, fit, comma, service, comma, and details, or other statements that have like three things and there's an and before the third thing. I feel like that doesn't fit into the recipe, right? It's almost like you have to pick that one thing because I don't think that our brains process like the three things all at once. And I'm making an assumption. It's really more of a question for you is like when you see statements like that and you want to fit it into what you have created, how does that work?
Yeah. So part of it is just the lens we're looking at it through because they aren't coming in and saying, hey, I really care about fit, service, and details. It's really easy to just talk about us doing our job. Like I see a lot of websites where people are like, we're professional and we get back to your messages. And it's like, yeah, I should hope so. That's your job. So why are you telling me you're going to do your job? I want to know how you stand apart. So I think it's the lens that you look at it through. It's very easy to get into like word salad when you look at it from the business owner's perspective. But when you look at it from the person getting it, like the experience they get, the thing that they want, the desire that they have, the outcome that they want, it's usually one thing or one or two things.
Mhm. Like with Beth Clark's, Beth, you're saying inclusive bridal boutique offering sizes is 0 to 40 in stock. So there's two components to what Beth's saying. It's like it's size and it's time.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of those could be the statement, the perfect fit statement, and the other one could be like the subheader below it.
Yes. I was
So
actually thinking that as I
yeah.
read that because, and it depends what is most important. I would think inclusive bridal boutique offering sizes 0 to 40 in stock. And then you could do subheading, or you could shorten that subheading if you needed to. Like, so you don't have to wait for your dress to be ordered or for your dress to finally arrive. Customers often say they lack the confidence to make the decision to choose their dress. Maybe work with, we guide you and give you the confidence to say yes to the perfect dress. I like this. So they want, it kind of sounds like I'm going to put words in their mouth and I'm going to take them back out. So the words I'm putting in their mouth are, I don't want to do this alone. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I don't know how to shop for this item. Um, I don't know how to choose something that's gonna look good on me, that's gonna look good on my body. So I would think about that sort of language, but then I'm gonna make you test it because I'm gonna give you an interview guide so you can actually go ask them some questions and get their exact words. Because we can guess all day, but we're always gonna be at least somewhat wrong, myself included. And I do this all day, every day. I just can't be 100% right about my own business. The powerful band with a big heart. We play the soundtrack to your love story, get unlimited song requests and personal touches that celebrate you. So, what I would think about there is what is the most important thing to them when it comes to their band? And I would try first get away from the cleverness that we always do. And I do this too. Like we play the soundtrack to your love story. Let's back away from that first. We might come back to it, but what is the thing that they want out of hiring a band? Is it that they get to dictate the set list, the song requests? It's all personal touches. Then I would call that out specifically and I wouldn't dress it up as the soundtrack to your love story because we don't want to overcomplicate it. You know what that means. They might not know what that means. So we really want to spell it out. How do we say without sounding shallow, we want to show off our ability to express our elevated taste in choosing a perfume? Like how we show off our pick. Ooh, okay. I like this. And I have and actually, James, you're in the Wedding Business Collective. We have a GPT, a custom GPT you can run this through if you go to the tools page and just tell it this, and it'll help you start trying to pull these statements out. But I like this. Like you are putting so much thought, you are putting so much personalization into these other areas of the event. But then we have to test it. We have to make sure that that is what they want. Is that the driver of their decision? Or is the driver of the decision, I want something nobody else has, which kind of aligns. But someone who's going into this thinking, I want something nobody else has, if they're reading messaging around elevated taste, that might be a disconnect. This is our current statements: elevate weddings, one DJ, decor, and photo booth service at a time. Reimagining the vendor search, booking, and service experience too. Okay, this is a lot of business language. How would your customer say that? Because our customers would never say that. Packed dance floor. The thing they want is a packed dance floor. Sell them the packed dance floor.
You could almost say like super simple, like wedding DJ services for couples who want a packed dance floor. And I know that sounds overly simple, but at the headline of your website, like if a packed dance floor is what they want, then that's yeah.
So every band says that.
Mm.
First of all, I would look at what your competitors are doing. Most people are not specific. So they're going to just say things about like what they are, not what they do. The result, the thing you do is give them the packed dance floor. Is there another differentiator that you can speak to? It sounds like that personalization is definitely part of it. So they're coming to you. So what one question you're going to ask them when you go away from this is why did you book us instead of another band? And that's going to give you the information you need because they're going to tell you the thing that made the biggest difference. And those are lovely. Those are great things. But I don't know if they are the initial thing that is influencing their purchasing decision. It might be the thing as they get ready to purchase, they're like, oh, that's great. That's an extra perk. But this is like the immediate impression. We're a modern log venue of 40 acres for DIY budgeted customers focusing on creating family and friend memories without the alcohol. What are they coming to you saying that they want? Are they coming to you saying they want to get away in the woods with family and friends? Are they coming to you saying that alcohol is an important component? Indoor, outdoor option at a dry venue. Okay, that's the thing they're looking for. Then I would frame this as something around the fact that you have both of those and that it does sound like quite a unique look at a dry venue. I would probably incorporate dry venue and something about whether you want your event indoors or outdoors. And this takes some massaging, and I love ChatGPT for it. We design custom cakes and specialty flavored cheesecakes for couples who want their favorite flavored cakes that are moist and decorated and modern and classic designs without the stress. That is too long. We need to pull out, it sounds like flavor is what they're looking for. My guess is that stress is probably not a factor. Again, we're going to test all of this. Modern and classic designs. Okay, that just shows that you're versatile. Um, Cakes that are moist. I would kind of expect that if I'm hiring a professional. So I want to get down to what is the thesis of this? What is the thing? Is it that you're offering flavors that nobody else is? Then I would really hang your hat on that.
And just like without the stress too, like I feel like every single wedding business is like something about the experience, something about stress free. And I think that it's overused at this point because if you're hiring someone, you're paying them a whole bunch of money, like you expect that experience to be good and you expect it to be stress free. So, like when you say we're stress free, it's like, well, I kind of expected that to be the case. So, like, why is that a conversation point? And
And this
then
doesn't have to be literally everything you do. Like, this is just a qualifying statement so someone either wants to learn more or they want to leave. We're just forking them down one path or the other.
it's not the sales conversation.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to fit all of that in. You just want that main idea. So it could be custom cakes and specialty, or I would just say custom cakes and cheesecakes in, you could say a number of flavors. You could say like some way to describe the flavors, unexpected. Like, what do people tell you about your flavors?
And sorry, I don't want to like to beat this too hard, but like the stress thing, like I think that there are things that people would go through stress for if it were unique and super desirable that like not that you want to say that like, oh, it's going to be stressful, but I think like people will put up with a little bit of frustration if it's something they really, really want. So nailing down what makes you different and unique and making it desirable and differentiating you from the competition alleviates the need to talk about the experience or the stress because that's what's going to hook them.
The best flavors. I would think about, I definitely want you to pull language from what they're saying, but I would think about if you could describe your flavors in a word or maybe two words, how would you describe them? Do you want to highlight the variety? Is it that you have, like, to use the ice cream shop, 31 flavors? That was their thing. We have a lot of flavors. That was their whole thing. They say our vanilla isn't just vanilla. I like that, and you should use that somewhere. But I think it comes further down the line. This is initial impression. What is a way you can describe your flavors? A word that makes people want to know more. Maybe it's unexpected. Maybe it's, I don't know. There's so many words you can use to describe flavor. But I think pulling from what they say is going to be really, really helpful. Unique pairings. Yeah, I think that could definitely work. But it sounds like the thing you want to be known for, the thing that people love about you are the flavors. So let's like lean into that all the way. All right, so I am going to give you a resource, but first, here's how you're going to use it. You're going to reach out to your favorite clients, the people you made a list of, and you're going to ask them some questions. Because when we guess, we will always be wrong. I can guarantee you of this. We always miss the mark because we can't see it from their perspective. We can't see it from someone who doesn't have the experience that we have. And it's actually really, really easy to do. Put it into a book. It's a bestseller. And I have incorporated it into everything I do with my members and the Wedding Business Collective. So I'm going to give you that link. But what I want you to do is go ask your best clients some of these questions. You don't have to ask all of them, ask some of them, especially the ones around why did you hire us instead of another band, instead of another planner, instead of another venue? That's going to show you how you already stand out to them because usually the things we need to highlight in statements like this are things we're already doing. We're just not calling attention to them. And then you're going to take those responses and use them to refine your perfect fit statement so that it is truly irresistible to your ideal clients. So here is the download for that. You can scan it. You can go to that link. I will grab the link and we can continue workshopping this. I like that, James. I like that from a copy perspective, but we have to make sure it's true. We have to make sure it is the accurate driver for their decisions. Because it could sound great. Like the copy itself could be wonderful, but if it doesn't connect, it doesn't really matter. So we have to make sure that it really reflects how they feel. So let's see, will that work? That should work in the chat. So it's great. Now let's go test it. Let's go ask some questions. How do I balance giving them what they need, ceremony and reception music, packed dance floor, MC, and show them all the extra things we do that make us special and different? For example, one couple's theme was the movie It's a Wonderful Life, so I found Zuzu on Cameo, who's now 86, and hired her to record a personalized video, which I played on a big screen at their wedding. That is so cool. That is awesome. You want to think about this as a journey. So, what the part of the journey we're talking about right now is they initially discover you. So, we want to give them one thing to either decide, I want to go further down this path or I want to turn and go back. This is further down the path. And I would say this is a great example of something you could include on a service page if you're talking about your process and you're talking about how you pull out these things that you personalize, and then you can give some examples. I think it's fantastic. It's just further down the road. Anybody else have any questions or want to work on their statement? And like I said, if I see a few members here. If you are in the Wedding Business Collective, we have an AI bot that will help you workshop this in this format.
Keep picking Heidi's brain, my friends. We have time. If you don't feel like you came away with your statement, like, let's keep working on it. We got time.
Yeah. Or at least we'll get to a version of it where it's like, okay,
Mhm.
I might walk away from it and come back with information now that I can get from my clients to make sure that it's a fit. But we want to get you into like a solid first draft here.
Mhm.
And it is something you can update. I wouldn't wildly change it, but we want to make sure that it's working, it's coming across. So if you put something together and you find like, okay, I'm getting like weird disconnects in my consultation calls. It's not working. It's not qualifying the right people. You can adjust it. You can tweak it. Um, I've done that myself, but you don't want to change it a lot and because you don't give it time to be tested, to marinate. And you also don't want to change basically the argument of why should I work with you? There are a lot of reasons why someone should work with you, but there's one or maybe two that they care about most. And to give you an example for myself, something I have regularly come across in my messaging when I talk to people is my inclination is to talk about helping you make more money in your wedding business. But time after time after time, what I'm hearing from people is nobody says they want to make more money. And if they do, what they're saying is they want to book more clients. So it's just different language. But if I'm talking about money and they're talking about clients, it's not the exact thing. It's not that, oh my God, this is perfect kind of reaction. Electric and everlasting. I don't know what that means.
I can see framing that into like one of your statements, like wedding entertainment and decor for couples who want a blank and blank vibe for their wedding. Or
Sure.
it's not perfectly the way to say it, but like it's set up that Courtney, it's set up for success the way you framed it, but like put it in the statement of like for couples who want or for couples who are. And that way they
Yep.
can see that statement and identify themselves like, oh, whether you use electric and everlasting or not, like I feel I want electric and everlasting vibes at my wedding. Like putting that for couples who are or for couples who want, I feel like it's such a powerful insight, Heidi, that you've given us because it says what you do and it says who you do it for. And that couple words in between are the key.
Yeah. And it's just that snap decision. We land on a website and we're like, well, I don't know what this is all about. I'm out. And
Yeah.
that's what we want to avoid. You are on the right path here, helping grooms find their perfect look with real stylists, real fittings, and zero online booking regrets. You're on the right track with this. I think you have the general argument that you're helping grooms find their perfect look. They are getting the stylist, they're getting the fittings. I would drill into that and I would ask them some questions from this guide that are going to help give you their actual language because they might phrase it in a way that you're like, huh, okay. I would have never thought to put it that way. But then when you do put it that way, other people like them are going to be like, yeah, I get it.
The perfect tux for grooms who don't want to have online booking regret.
Yep. And they might say, like, like I've heard horror stories from my friends. Like maybe that's something you're hearing over and over and over again. So that's something you can incorporate into that. The perfect fit without having to go through the horror stories your friends have told you about their weddings. That is much more like reach out and grab you than perfect fit, perfect styling because we're using the exact language. I totally get that, David. I feel the same way. I also have trouble not throwing everything in the kitchen sink at people because I like to help people. But if you think about it, like you're feeding a fox in the woods, like you can't chuck a whole loaf of bread at them. You got to give them like little breadcrumbs and they'll maybe come and then they start to trust you a little more, a little more, a little more. And then maybe at some point they're like eating out of your hand and regularly coming to visit you, but they have to take those little steps.
And there's something about you, David, that's unique. And I think Heidi, your list of questions, your resource for people is like, ask your clients, why did you choose me and not these other guys? And I think there's a couple people that will tell you why, and what they say is the answer to that. Because all the other things that you do are incredible, and you'll get the chance to share that with them if you nail down that one first reason about why they chose you and not other people.
Yeah. Beth, I like the sentiment of the first sentence, but I don't think you need it. I would say I would really think about how do your people talk about this? Like, is it that they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad you had something in my size?" Or is it like an inclusive boutique that celebrates, I wouldn't even say celebrates because then we're getting into business language with gowns. I would actually look at plus size retailers to see how they frame this because are they framing it as not just the skinny sizes? Are they framing it as like what sorts of words they're using? I think that could be a good way for you to come up with some ideas. Susan, that's definitely what you do, but is it what they want? Because we have to sell them what they want. Is it that they want something that no one else will have? Because there's a lot of reasons someone could do something. They could do it because they genuinely just love uniqueness and novelty. They could do it because all of their friends and their sisters and their brothers have gotten married and they're sick of the same cookie cutter wedding. They could do it because they want to feel self-righteous and better than other people. Like there are all sorts of motivations for it. So we got to get down to what is the motivation. Together we help you discover your dream dress. That's too generic. And what are we focusing on? What is the thing that you want to be known for and that they love? Is it, because I believe you said, it's a very like guided, hands-on experience. I would think you would find some language from them that kind of reflects, like, find the right dress for you, even if you have no idea what you're doing. Or, like, how do they say that? Nervous about putting it out there front and center that we're a dry venue above the fold. Usually they fall in love with our photos and prices, and then when they sign up for a tour, it's on that then they're okay with no alcohol because they've seen the photos and pricings. If they do want alcohol, they bail out of the tour sign up, no time wasted. So it depends. It depends if are they looking for a dry venue? Is that the thing that they want? If it is, I would include it. If that's happenstance, like if it's not, it's just part of the deal, I might not highlight it. I would highlight something else that they say, why did you choose this venue? It sounds like they're not actively looking for that, so I wouldn't lead with it. I mean, you could get to a point where if you're like, I'm sick of handling these inquiries from people who are never going to book, then sure, maybe it's a qualifying thing. But I would really focus on what do they want? Yeah, you're very welcome. No matter where you get to on this, I want you to test it because I can promise you you're going to be wrong. And I'm going to be wrong because I'm not your ideal client. I can help you massage this and develop it. But when my clients come to me with this, when members of the Wedding Business Collective come to me with this, my first question is, who are we talking to? What do they care about? What is important to them? Because if it doesn't align with that, literally nothing else matters. Even if you do align, but they don't think you do because of the language that you're using. That happens a lot too.
That's awesome. All right, so we're out of time. 2 minutes left. This was so incredible, Heidi. Um, how can folks get in touch with you? How can folks work with you? What do you have to offer them? I know you have so many things, but like, tell
Yeah.
us.
Like I mentioned, I have a membership called the Wedding Business Collective. When you sign up for this, you'll get an option to start a trial if you'd like. And you can work with me in there and we can figure this out together. And you can access our little AI bot that will help you figure this out and then turn it into marketing content to make it even easier for you. So that is where people can work with me. And you can find me over at evolveyourweddingbusiness.com. You'll find everything about working with me there, about the Wedding Business Collective, about my podcast, all that good stuff.
You have so much good stuff, Heidi. I really, really appreciate your time. My wheels are spinning like crazy. I'm like, can we stay on and talk longer? Yeah, so please definitely you guys check Heidi's organization out and check out her socials. And she's so open to helping everyone. And I've personally experienced Heidi's help. And just to give you a plug, like I've experienced her help in so many different ways, and I can't say enough good things. So thank you for your time. Thanks for being
Well,
here.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun to dig into, and I can't wait to see where you guys go with it from here.
All right, friends.
Bye.
Peace out.